Hello and welcome to the CIO update from Emirates MBD. I'm Gary Dugan. Well, last week Donald Trump finally got to work with 13 executive orders. Without wishing to go through them in any great detail, I think we remain concerned, like the market, that some of them may be rather misjudged. I think if you look, for example, at the Mexican wall, you will find that between 2009 and 2014 there was actually a net migration out of Mexicans rather than in. So I'm not sure what the wall is trying to achieve. However, let's look more positively at some of his policies, because last week the meeting between Theresa May, the Prime Minister of the UK, and Donald Trump led to quite a sharp rally in sterling. And indeed, there's a feeling now that the connection between the UK and the US is much stronger. That could lead to a trade agreement that would provide the UK with some positive news around Brexit, and certainly supportive of sterling. One other element of Donald Trump's policies is to bring manufacturing jobs back. And I think he'll be encouraged that he saw last week that Tesla came with a new model of their electric car, which could be very disruptive to the oil market over the longer term. Certainly a unit price of somewhere between $30,000 and $50,000 is remarkably different from the $100,000 ticket that the car used to cost. That brings the cost of electric cars down, it makes them more viable, and should America move completely over to electric cars, 40% of oil demand would disappear from the market. Of course, that oil might go into the production of energy through electricity that goes into cars, but there's also a move by Tesla that those cars would run on solar panels, not on electric from the main grid. Now back to the more mundane. Inflation is certainly picking up around the world. In Germany, indeed, inflation has come from a negative number in the middle of last year to close to 2% when it gets reported this week. We think central banks will continue to look to tighten policy, although there will be nothing, we think, from the Fed this week. One word of warning: equities have done so well, there's probably room for some profit taking in the coming weeks. And we think that US equities in particular are vulnerable, given that earnings have not really been revised up in recent months, and yet the equity market has powered on. So probably look for the profit taking opportunity should markets rise further. So plenty of disruption, plenty to talk about, plenty to consider. Look for higher bond yields and look for some correction in equity markets. Thank you.